Here we go. Perfect. Perfect timing. Thank you. All right, I'm just calling us to order. So, good evening, everyone. This is the Township of Springfield's Board of Adjustment meeting for February 21st, 2023. The time is 6:05 p.m. Adequate notice has been given in accordance with the Sunshine Law. Notice was published on September 30th, 2021 in the local source. 2022? I think this needs to be updated for when we actually noticed. 2022, the official newspaper for the Township of Springfield, and posted in the Annex Building. Notice of the meeting has also been published on the Springfield Township's website. Stand to salute the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Okay. Mr. Disco, can you please take roll call?
Yes. Mr. Hochstein? Here. Mr. Cunningham?
Here.
Mr. Poltrock?
Here.
Mr. Fursichbaum?
Here.
Mr. Sada?
Here.
Mr. Weckstein? Here. Ms. Huffer? Vice Chair Laufer? Chair Cohen?
Here.
I have a quorum.
Excellent. Okay, the first order of business are the minutes from January 2023. Have all board members have an opportunity to review the minutes? Are there any questions, comments? If there are none, is there a motion to approve?
Moved.
Thank you. Second?
Mr. Fursichbaum?
Approved. To approve.
Mr. Hochstein?
Yes.
Mr. Cunningham?
Abstain.
Mr. Poltrock?
Abstain.
Mr. Sada?
Yes.
Mr. Weckstein?
Yes.
Chair Cohen?
Yes. Okay, the minutes pass. Next order of business is resolutions. The first and only resolution of memorialization that we have for this evening is application 2022-23, Springfield Holdings LLC. This is for 8995 and 109 Victory Road, Block 301, lots 5 and 7. This is the bifurcated application. We approve the variances. Any questions, comments on the resolution? If there are none, is there a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve. Second.
Mr. Hochstein?
Yes.
Mr. Weckstein?
Yes.
Mr. Cunningham?
Abstain.
Mr. Poltrock?
Abstain.
Mr. Fursichbaum?
Yes.
Mr. Sada?
Yes.
Chair Cohen?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Applications this evening. Application 2023-3, 27 Woodcrest Circle, Block 601, Lot 6. This is a request for a rear yard variance for an addition. Do we have the applicant or representative here? Hi, good evening, how are you? You come up to the microphone there, the podium, thank you.
Okay. Just raise your right hand, please. You swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your full name, spell your last name, give us your home address.
Joseph Fiorelli. My last name is spelled Fiorilli. My home address is 27 Woodcrest Circle, Springfield, New Jersey.
Thank you. Would you just talk into the
Yeah, I'm
mic to
sorry.
make sure we...
Is it on? It's
I
only
don't
because
know.
the people at home can't hear. Do we know if it's on?
Seems like
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Please tell us what you're
Okay.
looking to do and walk us through the request, please.
Okay. My name is Joseph Fiorelli. I am the owner of the house at 27 Woodcrest Circle. I have been a resident in Springfield since the 1980s. My parents have been residents in Springfield since the 1950s, and my grandparents have been residents in Springfield since the 1940s. I have scattered aunts, uncles, cousins throughout Springfield, and a multitude of friends. And this particular house in question, 27 Woodcrest Circle, I had purchased this house 10 years ago because of the location. I love the location. It's on a half a semicircle street off of Baltusrol. There's very little traffic on it. The only time people drive on the street is either if they live there or if they're visiting someone. And I bought this house with the intention of retiring in this house because it's small, it's affordable, and the taxes are inexpensive. I just retired in December, and I was waiting until I retired so that I had the time to put an addition on the back of the house, which is a kitchen addition. Actually, I would be enlarging my kitchen. So I had an architect draw plans up. He drew up the plans. I submitted them to the town. They first went to the zoning department, and they got rejected because of the rear yard setback. Now, unbeknown to me, the house was already in an existing non-conforming situation. The rear yard setback was 30 feet. I have posters.
Yeah, you
Should I
could.
put them? I just like so
If
that-
you'd like to put them up on the easel. These are, just for, yes.
These you actually have.
Right, that's what I was gonna ask. So these are just blown up of what has already been submitted to us.
Exactly.
Okay,
You have these.
this is the survey.
I just thought, that, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Mm-hmm. So, what's in question, this is actually blown up probably 2 times. So it's really not to scale anymore, but this is the area that I wanted to put the addition. And, in a second, I'll show you why. These are the measurements from my property line to the back of my house already. It's only like 21 feet. So it's already in a non-conforming, which was unbeknown to me. I never knew that till I just submitted the plans to the town. So the area that I wanted to put the addition on here is 14 foot out toward the property line and 14 foot. I'm literally just squaring the back of the house off. That's what I wanted to do. So I'm not going 1 inch into the beyond any non-conforming situation that I have. I'm just basically squaring it off. Okay, this is a blown-up situation here, and this is why I wanted to explain why I wanted to put the addition on the kitchen.
So this is,
This is the first floor plan.
this is the first floor plan, but you have covered the
Yes,
proposed kitchen area.
yes, well, yes, so that you could see the,
Yeah.
where it is. And again, this is not to scale.
Okay, understood.
So I
So
just wanted-
let's,
yeah.
we just want to mark this into evidence because it's not part of the actual submission because you've covered a portion of it. So we're
Okay.
just going to mark this as A1, applicant 1, or you're pulling that off.
I put this here so that you could see, I just thought it would be more visible if I put the yellow on it, because I know on all of the surveys that you have, I marked it in yellow ink.
Right, but actually, we don't have this at all, right? Because this is the
You don't
the
have this?
existing floor plan.
Yes.
Okay,
I didn't submit, the architect didn't put the pre-existing
Yeah.
floor plan because he said you didn't need it.
yep, perfect. So we have it marked.
So I just, if you could just visualize it. Right now, this area right here is a patio. It's already like impervious, so, it's already covered. And what I wanted to do was just extend this kitchen up to here, so that I had access from the kitchen to, so I can make it like a kitchen family room combo. My situation is this. This kitchen, I have never been able to eat in. And now that I'm retired, I'm going to be spending a lot of time here. I have a big family. And any time, this kitchen's only 10 by 10. With the cabinets here and here, it's 8 by 8. So if I put a kitchen table here, which I have, this is my driveway going to the street. When people walk in here, they come into the side door. If somebody's sitting at the kitchen table, they have to get up and put the chair in so that the people can get through. It's just, you know, it's something I've been living with that's a hardship. So that's why I wanted to extend the kitchen. Also, before I want to put this back up here, I want to make one more point. Woodcrest Circle is a half a circle. So my lot is almost like pie-shaped. My neighbors on both sides have no view of my backyard whatsoever. There's a fence here and a fence here. And being the position of this circle, their houses are set closer to the street because it goes around a curve. I don't have one neighbor that could even look into my backyard. This rear yard setback, this is the property line. I have an abandoned railroad track here that's all covered with brush. And probably 300 feet away is Troy Village. So I don't have a neighbor within sight of this whatsoever. And then finally, I just want to show you this picture, which is literally the back of my house.
Okay, so we're just gonna mark that as A2.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because this is probably the best visual. This is the existing patio. This is the family room, which both of these are. So you're looking at both of these upside down now. So I'm going to turn this one upside down just to make it easier for you to look at. This is the family room here. So that's, this point is right here. And this is my existing garage, which is here. I simply want to square this off. Where this patio is, I want to bring this kitchen out flush and continue this roof just right across. Just a simple one-story addition just to square it off. And it would just, you know, make my life so much easier if I have a bigger kitchen. You know, and like I said, you know, nobody, if it's an issue of, you know, one of my neighbors saying anything about it, you can't see it. Nobody could see this. It's just a private backyard because of the fact that there's an abandoned railroad track, and it's all like overgrown brush. So
Okay, thank you.
that's it.
I'm gonna open it up for questions from members of the board.
So, question, what were you planning on doing with your backyard area if you were to put the kitchen where the patio is now?
Nothing.
So nothing in your backyard?
If you could just speak into the microphone, because there's,
Well, I don't have any plans at this point. If anything, I maybe some pavers, a couple little pavers, so I could put a grill on it or something. I don't need a patio. I don't have any children there.
So not a patio?
No, not a patio.
Okay.
Yeah.
any other questions?
Just that whatever you put on there is going to match the rest of the house.
Yes, yes, it's gonna be the same siding, because when I pull it back, I'm gonna take the siding off and just put it right back on the outside again.
And just, you know that if you decide to put a patio or something, you just have to.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's more impervious area, I know, yeah. But I'm not gonna put a patio.
Yes.
I just have one question about your proposal,
Yeah.
your submissions. The patio seems to be flush with the left side when you're looking at the house from the back. Do you want the extended kitchen to be flush with the right side of the house, or,
With the family room.
so that's on the
Yeah.
right? If you're looking from behind the house
If you're
towards the
looking
house?
behind the house, yes, it's on the right. It sticks out, it's a foot more than the garage.
And I just have a question about your ownership of the property.
Yeah,
So in your application, you indicated you own the property, right?
yes,
And you testified here that you own the property, right?
yes.
Do you own it individually, or do you own it through a company?
Well, It went back and forth a couple times, and I can give you the reason for that. Because I have two sons, and one of my older sons just got married. And I was like, I don't think this is a good situation.
I understand. I'm a divorce lawyer, I get it.
Yeah, okay.
So,
So,
all right, so right now,
Yeah.
just to be clear, title is in whose name?
my name,
Individually?
yes,
All right. Thank you.
yeah.
Any other questions from the board? Any members of the public have any questions? Any members of the public have any comments? Okay. So I guess my question to Bruce, is it a pre-existing nonconformity that, are we?
No, it's an expansion of a pre-existing nonconformity because the surface area that's violating the setback is getting bigger.
Okay, perfect. All right, I am in favor of granting the relief that the applicant has requested. I don't think that it's going to be causing any detriment to the surrounding neighborhood, particularly given the reasons that the applicant set forth, with respect to, you know, what's behind him and the setbacks on the side. So I'd be in favor of granting the relief.
Second motion. With, as long as it matches, I don't know if that has to be a caveat or a condition, as long as it matches the rest of the house.
Yes, with the condition that it matches
Absolutely.
the rest of the remainder of the house, the existing house.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Hochstein?
Yes.
Mr. Poltrock?
Yep.
Mr. Cunningham?
Yes.
Mr. Furshishbaum?
Yes.
Mr. Sada?
Yes.
Mr. Weckstein?
Yes.
Chair Cohen?
Yes. Passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, thank you,
Have a good
everyone.
evening. Good luck. All right, the second application on this evening is application 2023-2, 5 Winfield Way, Block 5313, Lot 1. This is a request for a front yard variance for a pool. Good evening, how are you?
Good evening. Mark Wasserman, resident of 5 Winfield Way, purchased a house about...
Hold on one second. Will both of you be speaking?
I will
guess,
be
yes.
adding on as well, so.
Okay, so we're going to swear you both in.
Please both raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
Please state your full name, spell your last name and your address.
Mark Wasserman, Vasserman, Vasserman, 5 Winfield Way, Springfield, New Jersey, 07081.
And please state your full name.
Rima Wasserman, same last name, Vasserman, 5 Winfield Way, Springfield, New Jersey.
Thank you.
Okay. Could you just please tell us a little bit about what you're here for, what you're requesting, and the reasons for it?
So we've been living in the property for almost 10 years, been improving it since 2013. A lot of changes done. With COVID hitting us a couple of years ago and staying home, decided to take a home equity line and proceed with enhancing the backyard and building a pool. Unfortunately, it took us about 2.5 years of wait due to the COVID restrictions and delays. We finally came through a year ago in March with all the back and forth between the zoning and the guidances that our property actually has. We are a corner property with 2 front yards with a narrowing. If you look at the property line on the survey, they are a little tilted, so they happen to be shifting from one side to another. Once everything was set in stone on the architectural plans, we did proceed with all the construction with a reputable company, which is local and seemed to be very recommended. After installing everything and inspecting, going through all the inspections which were passed, with the exception of the final one, which seems to be about a foot, 1.2 feet closer than it should be on one of the sides towards the road. So it's not facing any neighbors. It is actually a water line setback towards the road, and you can see it on your survey if you're looking on the Winfield Way towards the general notes. The bottom corner of the water line where there's an error, it says 30, and the pool was installed, actually, it's a drop-in. So the pool was dropped in on that side, 28.7 feet away from the road. Meanwhile, the northern part of the same water line is 2 feet extra. And you can see the borderline of the property shifts a bit. So there was a mistake done on the company that installed the pool. And obviously, everything is being prepaid. Otherwise, they don't do anything, being that it's a prepaid drop-in. So we approached the company. We tried to fight them and see if they can fix this. Being that it's a drop-in pool, unfortunately, the only option is to excavate it and pretty much start the project from the scratch. So we're here to asking for permission to grant us the right to leave the pool as is with a 1.2 feet, I guess, threshold, which was a fault of our company, of our construction company, which is Pool Designs. We're in contact with them. We're trying to fight it. We're still working with them. Their foreman is out on vacation during the winter time. Their architect was fired or at least discontinued working with them. Their project manager is no longer with them. So it seems that it's either the company is falling apart or they're doing a lot of changes due to the busy season that they had during the COVID. So this is where we are kind of stuck in between proceeding and finalizing the project, which is in the final stages right now. The property is all improved. The kids obviously want to use the pool, but we hit this dead end a couple of weeks ago with the final inspection, and were suggested to go through the variance. And after contacting the company, obviously, and verifying with them what the options are, it doesn't seem like we're getting anywhere with them.
Okay, thank you.
Do you mind if I add just a little bit of a background about us and how we originated in Springfield? I think it definitely, it gives a good overview. We, as my husband indicated, we moved here close to 10 years ago, so when the little one was just about 3 weeks old. Our background is we immigrated to the States in '91. We were both young. This is way before kids, with our parents. And we couldn't imagine living in a house. So this is our first home. This is our first house that we bought. And really what it means for the kid, we've never lived anywhere where there was a pool, right? So for our kids, the fact that we can give it to them and the fact that we were able to do this, it's great. So to be in a situation where now where we're not able to use it and they're not able to use it, it's definitely not a great situation to be in. So just wanted to mention that as well, because it does mean a lot to us that we're here.
Thank you. I'm going to open it up to members of the board for questions.
I have a question. What is a water line setback?
30 at that particular site. It's 30.
Is that just a front yard setback?
The setback from the
Front.
property line to the edge of the pool.
Okay.
It's considered to be a front yard.
The edge of the deck or the
Edge of the
actual
pool
pool?
setback.
Water, where the water,
Okay,
edge of the pool.
and it's only 1.2 feet.
Correct.
And then,
Michael, if you-
yeah, it was, this went through the normal zoning process with variance-free. Mr. Herbert, the zoning officer, approved it, and then they went to the building department and started the process of building it and getting the permits. They got all their permits for it. It's just that somewhere in the process, the pool, because it didn't get bigger, the pool didn't get bigger, it just seemed to shift that. It is close to a deck, right? I don't know if the
About 3 feet
contractor-
away from the deck, so
Yeah.
it's not that there wasn't close to, I was close to that, but.
And then the other question I had, when I'm looking at the required and existing, you have the lot coverage as the same. Is that because you're counting the lot coverage of the pool and the house as it is now? Because doesn't the pool count for lot coverage with the pool deck and everything?
Pool surface does not count as lot coverage.
But the pool deck and everything, that was
Pool
all,
deck,
so that, all that's in that 2865? So, okay, so you're not going for any extra lot coverage, you're complying with lot coverage?
Yeah, everything was compliant. Again, I think the application includes the zoning permit background from 2021.
Yeah, it's here.
It just, again, somewhere along the line, the pool shifted ever so slightly. Perhaps it was imperceptible. The building inspectors that are out there, they obviously couldn't perceive of that, once the construction started. But when the final inspection was required, and before they get their certificate of approval, or CA or CO, as it's commonly known, the zoning official has to go out there. And I actually was with the zoning official when he was out there, because we were doing multiple trips. And when he lined it up versus the plan, it just looked like it creeped forward. Again, certainly, I don't think it was instructed by the property owner, but the contractor just built it there.
Just to add to that, thank you, Michael. It was tilted, not even creeped. It was tilted that one side became 2 feet over, while the other one is 1.5 feet under. So the pool itself was slightly tilted. And if you look at the property line, the property line on Winfield Way towards the general notes is a little tilted as well. So that's where it catches an extra foot on one side and steals the foot on the other side.
Really, in my opinion, 1 foot on the exterior is imperceivable, personally.
Oh, you're here. Did it move, or was it just placed
It's
inappropriately?
a drop in.
Right.
So it's, when they drop it in, they try to level it all the directions. Obviously, at that time, when everything's excavated, it's very hard to see what the foot is. Once it settles down, they drop all the gravel around it.
Right, and then
They
it's
put
done.
the water in, it begins settling more. So they're actually settling the pool as they fill it up with water.
And just for my edification, when they drop it in and you do all the math and you do all the measurements, do they account for like any potential shifts or like any margin of error, or are they just?
The company?
Or they just said 30 feet, we're gonna put it right at the border and keep our fingers crossed that's the shifting? Yeah, the company. Do you have any idea?
The problem is that there is a tree line, there is a fence line, which was also through the variance. So at some point, whoever was measuring, obviously I only hold the one end, I can check on one end. I can run around, and it's a matter of somebody moving the hand. So I was there, I was present, everything looks correct. Obviously, I cannot narrow it down to a foot or under a foot.
And which corner is over, so to speak? Is it the one that's closer to the house or the one that's
The one
farther?
that's, which corner is what? Over?
To the pool, you mentioned one side seems to be over and the other side seems
The
to
one that's further from the house is over,
Got it.
and this is where you see the Winfield Way stretching out a bit.
All right.
Meanwhile, the one that's closer to the house is more narrow, and this is the one that steals a foot, to 1.2 feet.
All right, so it shifted
It
like that. a little
tilted a bit, correct.
Got it.
I would rather it tilt the other way, it would make more sense, but it just,
Yeah.
bit. Thank you.
Madam Chair, if I might, just so the record is clear, the application indicates it's in zoning district S75, but I do believe, based on the zoning attachments, it's really an S60, just so the record's clear.
Thank you. Well, what if are there additional? The standards are the same.
I would note that the board member has indicated the tax records say S75, so I don't know which it is then. It doesn't matter to the application, but.
Is the rear correct, is the rear,
It's S75.
okay. Is the rear yard setback affected?
No.
Okay.
the setbacks for the neighbors is 15 feet, which is all with the compliance from both sides. It's 10 feet actual towards the house, which we have 17 feet. So it's not an issue with the setback there. We actually have 17 feet to the neighbors as well, I think.
I guess it's just how my eyes on the survey, it looks like 15 is from the farthest, and then it gets closer. Right?
The side property line there is parallel to the pool, whereas the street line is at an angle to the.
Thank you. I appreciate the clarification. Okay. Any other questions from the board?
I just have a question.
Yeah?
Mike, do you think this is more of an issue where there was a margin of error left, and as they started to settle the pool, it exacerbated the shift of the pool settling? Or
I don't know, they could have just dug the hole.
in a little bit in the wrong space?
Are there stairs to the fiberglass pool, I presume?
It's all built in within the,
It's all contained within the pool.
but to your
I know
point,
The stairs is the critical portion where the fiberglass pool, that's where all the cracking always happens. So if you don't get that molded properly underneath, that's where some problems can happen when you add the weight, which is gonna be there forever on that.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know in the step whether they molded the excavation incorrectly, or whether it's over excavated, and then, as it was indicated, they drop it in, and then they're positioning it, and they start backfilling, and
Right, when they
they start backfilling on one side, does it push it a couple inches?
right, if
out?
there's too much slack on one side, as they start to backfill it,
I don't
it'll
know the
cause a tendency.
technique that a fiberglass pool gets
Right,
constructed.
right.
they actually get pushed in exactly like Mike described. They manually shake it in order to settle down while they're pouring the water and pouring the gravel around to set the steps on the right spot.
This is
So
more-
they do shake it or shift it a bit while it's connected to the crane. So, and the excavation is much larger. So you have
Right.
about 2-3 feet around it to make the gravel slide in.
Right.
And then once the gravel filled in, that's when the inspector comes in to check it out. And once they confirm that the pool is settled, they begin covering the excavated part. So does it settle? We don't know. Do they actually move it and try to settle it? Yes, they do, in order to comply with the whole step touching the floor. And avoiding any water gaps, obviously, under the pool. Which I do have a pump installed just in case from underneath the pool.
Any other questions from the board? Okay. Any members of the public have any questions for the witnesses? Are there any members of the public that are present that wish to speak on this application? None. Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any conditions?
No condition.
Mr. Poltrock?
Yes.
Mr. Sada? Mr. Cunningham?
Yes.
Mr. Hochstein?
Yes.
Mr. Furstenbaum?
Yes.
Mr. Weckstein?
Yes.
Chair Cohen?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Joy.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
You went 5 minutes too long.
7.